Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week I'm going to be talking about the shows. This last couple weeks we had the Trading Post down at Springfield. That would have been 2 weekends ago, and that was the only show for that weekend. And then we had, this last weekend, we had the double nighter in Davenport. So that'll be what I'm kind of going over for today. If you can't tell, I do have a little bit of a cold. Been, I don't know, back and forth, it seems like. I don't think it's the coronavirus or anything, but just sinuses are definitely different level. But anyway, so getting into the Trading Post show, the last podcast I did, I was talking about how it was good that, I had some time off and could recover because I'd gotten a cold. And it kind of went away by the Friday show in Springfield, but we got there, and it was just me and Lo this night, and she probably would have stayed home if she didn't really need the cash because we both were a little sick, but she was way further along than me, and so we made it down there. She wasn't really feeling good. Started setting up, and then I started feeling really weird. Kind of, I don't know, shaky and kind of nauseous. So I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. So I don't really know what it was all about. Could have been a few different things, but that made the rest of the night a complete struggle because it was just cold and hot, but I had to focus and do the job. Wasn't the most enjoyable show for sure, but there were moments where I was feeling okay, and I still had some fun here and there, but it was a rough one to get through. And then, of course, like I said, Lo wasn't feeling good as well, and so I used the JBL for this one, and I think that actually worked out pretty good. Just the one speaker, but I've been using my mixer and going into the JBL and splitting it through both the channels, and that seems it has a different sound completely, but I don't have to bring the front fill and the big 12 or 10 to throw up, so I don't know if it's better. It's just a little bit less work to set up. So in this case, I wasn't feeling good, was probably a good call. And I don't know. I struggled through. It was just tough because I was doing the foot drums, and they were just not feeling quite right. I don't know. I just maybe I just couldn't get where I needed to be focus wise. I think it sounded fine, and I don't think anybody was really that probably even noticed I was sick, but I was very stiff, and I feel like my kick drums weren't feeling as smooth as normal. But we played to the best of our ability. We got through it. It was a 3-hour show. It wasn't too crazy, but I did end up throwing up a couple times at the end of the night, which was pretty uncomfortable. I think just the bending down to pick gear up and wrap cable, and then bend down, stand up, bend down, stand up, etc. You get if you're already feeling nauseous. So that was a rough night, but the actual playing part obviously was the best part, and there were uncomfortable songs, but probably the last 30-40 minutes, the adrenaline just took over, and we had fun, and the crowd was having fun. So it worked out. Just wasn't the most ideal. And then, so this last weekend, we had the double night in Davenport. Man, I wish my voice wasn't. We got a show tomorrow, and my voice is sounding weird today, which is, if you have any form of anxiety, there's nothing that brings it out more than, wondering how the 3-hour show tomorrow is going to go, and then the 3-hour show the next night. If your voice is losing strength or sounding funny, or I don't know. I haven't even done anything today, so I don't It's not like I was yelling or anything. But anyway, so the Davenport shows. Dave, the conga player, came both nights. I did foot percussion. I think went pretty well. It was definitely a lot. I don't know. When Dave hasn't been playing with us quite as much, so I feel like the first night we were not quite together, but we kept almost catching it. Like we were, and we sounded fine, but it's just the vibe wasn't quite there. The we just couldn't quite line up. I mean, we'd catch like moments of certain songs here and there, and probably like 50-50. But that second night we really tightened everything up, and it just felt a lot nicer, a lot smoother, and just my overall everything really. I always say that. I mean, it's the drive down kind of always kind of takes a lot out of you, and then setting everything up and sweating that. We got there like really early this time, which was nice on Friday. But both nights the crowd, I mean, we'd catch them here and there, but they weren't really into it, except the very end of the second night. We had like a group of guys come in the last like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and they like were all about it, and requesting songs and bands, and actually we ended up and did a couple encores that night, which was just nice. It was nice to, that was the kind of the relief of the whole experience. We got to stay in the nice apartment again, which was cool, the one that the bar supplies us, and it was fun having Dave around for the whole night. Usually he takes off, or he only comes like the second night or something. We ended up staying down there both nights though, because Laurelyn actually got a concussion, which was weird thing that happened, which we still don't really know we kind of have some guesses on why it happened, but she decided to walk around Davenport a little bit. Like, I was still asleep because we had stayed up really late. She probably went out at like 11 or 12 or something, and I was still asleep. And there's the pastry place she likes to go to grab some sweets and whatnot, and she was walking there and she passed out and hit her head on the sidewalk. So super, I don't know, not ideal. And she, of course, when she woke up, she called me, and I had to run. She had my keys, and I didn't even have a jacket, but luckily it was kind of nice out. I ended up jogging kind of where she had fallen, and she, it was a struggle getting her home, and then back in bed, and then we were supposed to keep her awake, because that's what you're supposed to do, I guess, after a concussion, up to 6 hours. And I don't think it was a terrible concussion, but it was definitely, high on the mild end. And she had cut on her lip, so she didn't even end up and perform the second night. She was just kind of out of it. So she's been recovering. She's been back at work and everything, and she's fine now. So it's not as big of a situation as it was. It was just kind of a struggle, because we were 2 hours away from home, and there wasn't like anybody even around Bloomington we could have. But that would have meant that I would have drove 2 hours to Bloomington, dropped her off somewhere, which I don't even know where, 2 hours back, perform, load up, and then drive another 2 hours to get home. That would have been a 6 hour drive in the car ultimately, and that would have just been crazy. So, probably would have been more ideal for her to be at our apartment, maybe with someone or somewhere else that she was like comfortable, but those were the cards we were kind of dealt, and she wanted to take it easy. She didn't think that she would do well in a car anyway, so feeling a little dizzy and stuff. So then she ended up and just kind of rested all day, and she came to the show a little bit, but most of the time she kind of wandered back up to the apartment and stuff. And it was loud. I mean, I think at that point we were not really that worried about her. But, I think they say after the first 6 hours, you're pretty much in the clear most of the time, as long as nothing too crazy is going on with how people are talking, or, if they're falling asleep and can't stay conscious. That's stuff you're watching out for. But anyway, so that was kind of a little bit of a mess, and then we ended up staying there Sunday, so we didn't really have a Sunday. We didn't get back till... We lost an hour because of the time change. It was just like a brutal weekend. I didn't sleep enough. Maybe that's why I feel like my voice sounds the way it does. I don't know. I practiced and stuff the last 3 days, and I haven't really noticed that at all. So this is the first day it's been super weird. And the temperature keeps changing, so I'm wondering if maybe that has something to do with it, and maybe I'll level out by tomorrow, but... Who knows? Because tomorrow we're playing at Houdini's in Leroy, and then Saturday I'm playing at Jay's Place in Gibson City. So that's kind of what I'll be going over next week. So I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about my career as a musician lately. And I've just been a little bit frustrated with where I'm at and how to move forward, and which has probably come across plenty, but if you listen to any of the other ones. But I don't know. I kind of been thinking more of a game plan, and I've been talking to some other people about maybe the direction I need to kind of focus, things I need to focus on. I think when I was younger and I was like just making music, I was like just so focused on the quality of that music. I wanted it to be better than most at that level. And I think I, to a point succeeded. I don't think all my songs are amazing or anything, but the quality I feel like is, a little bit higher than what you'd expect for a local guy. And I think what happened is I kind of neglected a lot of other aspects to what I should be focusing on. And something too I've been really into thinking about lately is our live shows, because pretty much how our live shows go, or we don't plan it out at all. We just play whatever we feel like, which is fun, but I don't know. I've been thinking that it needs to be more. I've been thinking that everything I do needs to be more of a piece of art, not like just the music. Like, and we do some artistic stuff. We do music videos, and we do different pictures for shows, but there are a lot of places that I think that I'm really lacking. And I don't really dress a certain way, and I don't really do a lot of social media type stuff. So I don't know. I've just been thinking that I need to maybe step up my game quite a bit on a lot of other fronts, because I don't know, I get really focused on specific things, which is, good to get stuff done, but I need to maybe broaden my pursuit here a little bit more. So, I don't think the quality of my music will suffer, and I don't think the quantity either. I think I'll be able to still put about the same amount of stuff out, but the other thing I realized too is, like, I'm a content creator, like, and I've never really thought about myself that way. I've just been making music, but I think the thing about being a content creator is you need to create as much content as possible. And, I've opened up a little bit to that over the years. I've put out more music, more videos, live videos. But, it's still all very music-based. And And that's good. I mean, I want it to be music based, but not everybody. I think there needs to be more of a visual element to a lot of the things I do, and like I said before, I just don't really focus on that as much, and I think I should maybe focus on that. But also, like, what I've been doing lately is I've been putting out a lot of just like cover songs or like originals, little minute videos for Instagram. I record them on TikTok because it's like an easy editor, and then I post them to Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that. And I think that just a little minute video 3 times a week, which really isn't even that much to do, will maybe keep people a little bit more engaged and maybe have them be a little bit more excited. So I'm not putting as much time between, because I get so bogged down by getting stuff finished, like the songs I'm working at in the studio finished, and I kind of don't really think about other stuff when that's going on. All I can think about is like the finish line of that. But I think I need to maybe be doing more stuff on social media throughout like the whole time that's going on. I need to be putting out cool pictures. I need to be putting out cool videos. Just all things art. I need to definitely, kind of push out a little bit more. Also, I was going to say, too, if anybody's made it this far in this podcast, I know it's probably not maybe been the most interesting one, but if somebody else if anybody has suggestions on things that they think I need to be doing, I'm not opposed to that now. Like, I think I'm more open to the idea of just hearing other perspectives out. I think I need to get better about that, and just hear what anybody who has anything to say says about it, and see what I can maybe take away from that, because I think there's definitely value in alternate perspectives. So just putting a shout out, if anybody wants to leave some messages in the comments, or shoot me a text, or if you have my number, or a Facebook message for things that maybe they've been saying that are good, maybe, or things that they've been saying like, oh, you're lacking here. I'm seeing a lot of bands do this, and you aren't really up to par there. I don't know. I'm taking suggestions. That's all I'm really saying. I'm not saying that I'm gonna follow through with every single one of them, but I would like to be exposed to some different ideas. And anyway, so if anybody has any suggestions, feel free to let me know. I think that's really it. I'm just gonna try to put more stuff out, put more art into everything I do, and I've been thinking about my live shows a lot, and how I want that to be eventually maybe more of a performance, or more of a piece of art itself, not just me playing a bunch of songs. Which, I don't want that element to completely disappear. I think that's one thing we do well and can do well. But, I have all my original music, and I think I could organize set lists in specific ways to, make it more of a flowy kind of experience, rather than, just a guy playing some songs. So that's another thing I think I'm gonna be focused on. I've been obsessed with trying to get better at guitar lately. I mean, I'm always a little bit obsessed with that, but I've just been playing a lot more, and like trying to do a lot more improvised kind of lead stuff in the moment live, and seeing what I can get away with. So I'm looking at for some different pedals, maybe, to kind of accentuate that part of my playing as well. But I'm a little limited. I play acoustic guitar, so, and that's the main music. So it has to, besides the vocals, so that's what everybody's singing over and to. So it needs to be very, very full sounding. And I think what happens when I go to do, like, and it is because I'm playing chords a lot of the times, but then when I go to like a lead part, everything drops out. So, I mean, besides percussion. So, I've been thinking about, and I think some of it has to do with just because, I'm playing an acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar doesn't, I mean, the notes come out obviously, but they don't sustain very well. So what happens is I end up throwing in like, I'm overexcited always too, of course, when I'm going to a solo because I'm excited about it. But so I just play as many notes as possible, and so I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of be more dynamic with that, and I would like to add more of a bluesy kind of rock vibe to some of the songs we're doing and some of the intros and stuff. So that's something I'm thinking about also. Maybe that'll kind of lean more towards the side of art instead of, just whatever I feel like, which, probably in its own way is a little bit of art, but not, it's not as much as it could be. And I think I need to think things out more like that. But anyway, so it's just some stuff I'm thinking about. Obviously just, feel like I'm talking to myself really, but just some ideas I've been having with stuff. So that stuff hopefully will start to take shape and take form here soon. And next week, like I said, I'll be talking about Houdini's and Jay's Place. So anybody who took the time to listen, as always, I appreciate you. And, have a good rest of your day and week. And I will talk to you next time.